Good morning. Yo, I woke up, took my shower, said good morning to my dad, said goodbye to my dad, got in the car, start going up the highway. I play that song. This wasn't supposed to be 2 videos. I thought it was late. So let me listen to that song I just posted, because I like it. What was I doing? I was looking for something and it popped up and I was like, damn, because basically I make music like every 3 seconds and I forget about the stuff I made unless it just pops up. And when I pulled up the video, because I don't even have my music in my iTunes, it's either the videos or I have to go to the websites, and it said 6:10. I'm like, 6:10. What? I am an hour early. Actually 2 hours early, but it takes me like 30 minutes anyway. Like, wow, I must just, because when I went in my dad's room, like, he was sleeping. Usually by the time around 6:40 he gets up, but I woke him up. He's like, I'm up. Like, morning, Dad. And he's like, morning. So weird. So instead of going back home, I'm like, I'll make a video. I'm gonna try Burger King, because Wow just wasn't working out, and then make a video real quick. But that's crazy. Last night I had a crazy dream too. I'm telling you, man, try to sleep in some weird place awkwardly, where your neck's all like, Arr! So behind there, because I always come down this way and I used to work there, there's a Kmart. And I stole something, not in real life, but in my dream last night. I stole something from Kmart and I just walked out. Just calm, and just walked out. And then I got right around here on this highway, whatever, and the cops came down. And they passed me. And then I came into Burger King. Yeah, I'm not making this shit up. I walked into Burger King, the parking lot, and then the cops came up this way, and they're like, they arrested me. And way better than, I think what it is, Walmart or Wawa, they make it and then they put it on that little heater thing, and it might be there for like 10 hours. And I guess these are there for like 4 minutes. I don't know. But I'm in the cop car and they're taking me to somewhere, jail, precinct, something, booking office, and they end up taking me to this robot place. And I'm sitting at this long table, like a Harry Potter dinner table, like real long, with all these different types of robots. And all these robots are music people, or music robots. And the table has like a thing where you could plug in like a USB of your music, and everyone's playing their music. And the acoustic in that place, you could feel the boom, 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 boom. And I don't know. I'm under the assumption I'm going to jail. I just stole something. Although my dream didn't tell me what I stole. And I don't know what you could steal from Kmart that would have been that. I mean, stealing's bad. Don't steal. But then everyone left one by one until just me, and because I didn't know what I should do. No one's watching me. And then this random robot, a female robot, she's like, so I followed the female robot into the bathroom. And when I go into the bathroom, the female robot touches me. And she's like, for $300, I will get you off. For $300, I will get you exonerated. I'll get you. You won't go to jail. Exonerate. I don't know the words. My thing is, if I don't use the words in like everyday normal common speak, it's just foreign to me, as it should be. But yeah, she's like, for $300. Like, I don't got $300. And then the money I had, I think I had like $60. And then we started engaging in romance, which is weird. She's a robot. And it wasn't like a fancy robot. Like, there was nothing, it was just a robot. Again, weird. And then after, I wasn't feeling it. No pun, I guess puns intended all around. And then I went back out to the table. There was these little kids, which I think now I'm jumping to my school because I teach at the tables. I think it might have been. So the kids yesterday were eating Warheads and saying it's so sour or whatever. I remember eating that nasty ass candy. Kids will eat anything. They're so impressionable. But in my dream, these little robot kids had like this weird spicy sauce shit or whatever. And then I woke up and then I felt like I was late. And here we are. So weird. So weird. So any dream interpreters out there, what's my dream mean? What's going on? But yeah, yeah. So remember I was saying that my old housing apartment was hunting me down for $37. So I went to the bank. Well, in Japan, I would transfer money from my Japanese account into my current bank account so I could pay my bills stateside. So I'm thinking I could just go online on their little app, because they say we have a world-class app and this is like the best number one voted app in the industry. So I'm going there looking for international transfers. Couldn't find it. So I call. And I'm like, hi, I'd like to make an international transfer. It's like, oh, you got to go into the branch office. I'm like, yeah, but you know, I would send it from my bank account. It's already linked. You got to go into the branch office. Now I'm annoyed because it's like my branch closed at 5. It's like 4:30. I just came home. So I'm like, is there anything else I can help you with? And I'm always like, but you didn't help me. Like, if you help me, then yeah, but you didn't help me. So I'm like, can you tell me why I have to go into the branch office? Can you hold on? So I'm holding. I'm like, you know what? I might as well just go. I didn't want to hang up on her because she may. I think a lot of time customer service, they just put the phone down and wait and then come back on. I doubt they're running around trying to help people. I got a bias against customer service, especially since I've been back in America. Anyway, so I just hang up and I speed on down to the bank, and I run into, when I was doing Zumba, one of the cashiers, banker, the tellers. Yesterday, one of my students were asking me, what do you call the people who work at the banks? He's like, accountant. And I said banker, but technically, I mean, a banker does work at the bank, but it's the teller what I should have said. So there's this teller who used to go to the again, I'm looking right at it. I've stayed in the area I live. So LA Fitness. And I noticed her because she wore one of those, I don't know what they call them, compression belts, where like you put it around your waist and it like, you tighten it up. So it gives you that Victorian look where your boobs are all like, and everything is all distorted. It looks really painful. And then you dance with it or whatever, I don't know, work out with it. So she would come in there, I noticed her. And then on my Tuesday class, she would be in there too. And then when I realized, oh shit, that's the teller. So the next day I walked into the teller, and it's as if, no, I didn't say, hey, remember me, I didn't do anything. I did what I normally do. I just, I'd like to make a withdrawal. Would you like an envelope? Yes. Is that all? That's our transaction. And then when I quit, when I started working, I had to quit because apparently they put me on the only way to get out of paying that monthly thing, you have to go to your bank and cancel the check or whatever, the debit. It's one of those. There's no, again, on their website, there's no unsubscribe. It makes shit so difficult. So I went in there to ask her, and she didn't say, "Oh, you used to be the guy who was dancing. You know, the only guy that was ever in my class. You know, the only..." Like, no recognition. Now, I know she knows who I am, but I never... Anyway, that's another story. But, she said I had to talk to, the branch office lady. So I go in there, and then I go to the branch office lady, and she said, yeah, send money to Japan, it'll cost you $65. She's like, how much you gotta send? Like 37. She's like, ah! Ah! Like that's the sound she made. She's like, and she started thinking, can you just send him a check? Can you Zelle it? Can you PayPal it? And then I said, no, because Japan is Japan. They just, well, it might have been changing. I haven't been there almost a year. So maybe, because when I got to Japan, there was no debit cards, only credit cards. And they weren't really giving foreigners credit cards. So anything you needed online, and if you didn't have a credit card, you couldn't do it. Websites, iTunes, no, iTunes didn't exist back then, but. So I think the first website I had my friend's girlfriend's mother-in-law do it for me. Cause it just was like that. Now they got debit cards every left, right, like real, like. And then when they did have debit cards, they were like not real. They weren't Visa, MasterCard debit cards. They were just like take money out debit cards. Such a hassle. So I'm like, yeah, it's difficult. And then I said, well, maybe. I mean, one way I could do it is I could ask my ex-girlfriend if she can do it, but I really don't want to bother her. That's why I was going to the bank. I mean, I could ask a lot of people, but, you know, ask my ex-girlfriend if she can do it, and I'll just PayPal her the money. And I just don't want to bother her. And the teller's like, well, I guess she would be a banker because she's in a little office room. She's like, I do it. I got no shame. I guess it's shame. I'm embarrassed. I just don't want to. I feel bad, man. Like, I feel bad. You know, people got lives. This is my own dumbness. So anyway, I had to pay something on the mortgage or whatever. So I took money out. I wrote out a whole check thingy, a deposit slip, and I went back to the teller with the woman who dances Zumba. And I have this check, it's like, it's just your debit card. And I think back to my dad, who has me filling out name, place, date, bend the corner just a little bit. Okay, he doesn't say bend the corner. But it's very detailed on how he wants his checks written to get the money back. And all she said is, debit card. I handed her the debit card. She's like, do you want, is 20s okay? It took like 2 seconds. I wish I could just take my data, and I can't. Before you ask, I can't. People always, why don't you what? I can't. I just cannot do it because he is not. But I get the money and I go to I don't know, the Wells Fargo, in case you guys know. I don't know if they're statewide or countrywide. Go there, waiting in line. And when I go, when the next teller says, next, I come up, she goes, hi. Oh, like she did that. She's good. She's like, hey, well, oh, it's you. She literally, that's what she said. Oh, it's you. Now, I didn't give her no issue. I mean, I had some issue, but I didn't give her no issue. That's kind of rude. It was like, I'm about to tell her manager rude. But whatever. So I pay what I had to pay. And then, yeah. So, last night before I went to bed, I emailed my ex-girlfriend. I said, can I send you the money and can you pay the thing? It's only $37. And then I was a little nervous and worried because she could be like, now? Which, it's not the end of the world. I got a lot of friends who could say, now? And I just have to go in order. Now. I don't think anybody would say no, though. Because it's not like I'm saying, give me $1 billion. I'm just saying, I'll give you the money and I need to pay this. I mean, someone reached out to me the other day, 3 months ago. They said, hey, Matt, how you doing? How's everything? And we ain't talked. He reached out to me via Instagram. He's like, oh, you're a photographer. Can you take my picture? I'm like, okay. And we're walking and talking, and he's telling me what he just got to Japan. So he's telling me what he thinks, and I'm telling him what I know, and he's telling me what he thinks. It was just getting annoying. Now, of course, things change, and we're all different, and you know, we are the stewards of our own ships, and I kind of drive my ships recklessly. But anyway, and then he asked me to record a rap for him, like go to the studio. So I take him to the studio, we record, and he's like, what should I do? I'm like, you just gotta practice, man. You just gotta practice. Memorize your shit, practice. That's all you gotta do, practice. And if you need help, you practice. But I never heard from him again after I sent him the track. So this might be a year, 2 years later, he hits me up. And he's like, hey man, how you doing? All buddy. Don't buddy me if we ain't buddies. And then he's like, I need help. I think I even talked about this. He said, I need help. I don't even know where I'm going with this. Oh yeah. So random person asking me to help them with their money situation, even though we're not buddies. I don't know him. When I gave him my, call the company, they'll help you. Like, no, I don't want to call them. Well, I can't help you. But can I just get, but like, I'm not even in Japan no more. So I just blocked him. I ain't got time for that shit. So this is how I feel that if I'm asking someone to help me and we don't talk, I don't talk to people. Not that I'm like, whatever, I just don't. So I feel weird. I feel like I'm in post. But anyway, so I go to bed. I didn't check. And in the morning, right before I started eating, I checked the email and she said, don't bother sending any money. It's only $37. It'll be too much hassle. Just tell me what you need me to do and I'll get it done. And it's just like, as I say, I'm not used to people doing shit like that. And I guess I know why. My dad, he's in the senior care program. And the big thing at the beginning was he doesn't want to be put into like senior care, or he doesn't want to be in a nursing home. That's how it was presented to him, but it wasn't that. He didn't want people to take away his freedom, his independence. Again, that's not what it was, but that's how it was portrayed to him. And that whole period was just finally, I made a video about it, but finally I'm like, listen, man, I don't say that to him. I said, Dad, listen, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. If you want to do it, do it. Don't fuss about it, because fussing is fussy, you just do it or don't, and then live with the decision. And so then he's like, well, thank you. Well, he didn't say thank you at that point, but he's just like, no one explained it to me. Now I understand. Why didn't anybody tell me? I'm like, oh, if that was that, I could have done that. Like, I mean, I kind of all or nothing. I put all my cards out there. I said, listen, I'm not going to listen to you talk like this every day. I put my foot down a little bit. Still my dad. I said, this is the once and he's a Jamaican dad. He's 89 years old. Because it could have went sour. He could have been like, get out of my house. Because he would have played that card. He's like, you don't understand. And I didn't have anyone in the house with me. I was all alone. Like when I talk, luckily it worked out. And we ended up talking for like 4 hours. I was telling him about this, telling him about that, showing him about the iPad. But it only happened once. Anyway, so he gets into the program and they send him nutritious milkshake drinks or whatever. And I guess they flipped this. They switched the flavors every month because it was vanilla, then it went to chocolate. And one day he's like, I don't like chocolate. And I'm like, do you want me to call them up and tell them that you don't like chocolate? He's like, no, I don't want to be a bother. Like, it's not free. The money's coming from somewhere, but he doesn't got to pay it. And then the next flavor came was strawberry. And then the next one was like orange pecan chocolate deluxe, butter pecan chocolate deluxe, even So I'm like, do you like this? Like, no, but I don't like handouts. And he's I don't like handouts. And that's how I was raised. I don't like handouts. I love working. And when I get that paycheck, I'm very hard to let go of that money because I worked for it. It's my money and I spend it. That's, I mean, right up there. Not that you can see where I'm pointing, but I used to work at my first job was Long John Silver's fish place. I don't even like fish, but it was the first place that hired me. I quit and they hired me back again. I was that good, or they were that desperate. I think it was more that they were that desperate. But anyway, when I got my first check and then someone's like, you can get income tax return thing. And there was an H&R Block in the same plaza. So I walked over there like, what's this income tax return thing? Basically, you overpay and they give you the money back. People make it out like you're getting a benefit. You just overpaid. That's basically what it is. But I did it, right? Boom, boom. And then my mom's like, did you do your own income tax this year? I said, yup. Now, she didn't yell at me. She didn't say anything. But from that point on, because, you know, parents can claim their children and they can get more money, which would go to the house and stuff. Maybe it was a selfish move. It probably was a dick move. But she didn't say anything. And then from that point, I just started getting income checks, buying shit, because that's the thing, right? But well, yeah. Pride. I guess that's what it is. Pride, ego. Asking for help. Shit like that. Yeah. But anyway. So there's this guy. He might even be on his channel. I don't know. But he hit me up the other day. I blocked him on Instagram because he just kept bothering me. I don't like people bothering me. You could ask a question, I'll answer you. But then, like, hey man, I want to go to Japan. What do I got to do? Why are you asking me? You do it. You could type in Google, how do you get to Japan? It'll tell you, it'll bring up a list. Go through the list. It's not rocket science. But it was like, you know, can you help me with my beats, or can you help me with my beats? What do you think about my beats? And I'm like, your beats are nice, you know, they sound good, they're mixed well enough. I mean, I'm not an expert. My mixes get continuously better because I'm learning. Like, I didn't compress my earlier shit. Didn't even know what compression was. I just EQ'd it. All I did, EQ'd and volume mix, which is the first step. And then I had Waves plugin, so I'd throw on a limiter, but more as just make shit louder. I didn't know what it was doing. I just knew when I put it in there, everything just got louder. And some mixes it worked because it was volume mix really good. Other mix, it got a little crunchy at the top, like, ah. But as I go on, I'm learning, okay, let's cut some frequencies here, and let's put the bass in mono. Let's add a little bit of reverb on the snare to give it some space. Shit like this, and it makes the mixes better. And now with the vocal, I started compressing the vocals so they're consistent. I started ducking the kicks to the track so that the kicks hits, pop, pop, pop. Started separate, like all this stuff makes my track sound better, so they keep going. But you know, I'm still learning. So he's asking me, and I'm all for teaching people. What you like, I can give you a good tour about Easton if you come visit me, because I live here. Now, do I know every nook and cranny? No, but right on this street, which you can't see, my friend and I, my high school's back there too. We skipped school. I was the bad influence. Come on, let's skip. He's like, I don't know. Come on, let's skip. And then we just duck out the back. We come over to Burger King. I see my cousin, Machu, what you doing here? I'm like, skipping school. He's like, ha, ha, ha. And then we go back to go back into school, and we get caught. So not only did I was a bad influence, I got us both in school suspension. And that was that. But you know, these little stories with the tour, I can do that. And then for music, yeah, I could tell him. But then he went, and if you want to buy my beats. Whoa, 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 whoa. Calm down there. I respect his hustle. Because if you don't ask, how you gonna know? However, the algorithm or whatever, I always get, hey man, nice music. You want to buy my beats? You want to get promoted? You want some artwork? You want to come to my secret private chat room? Like, it's just spam every freaking day. And he trying to Trojan horse it. Hey, I really like your music. You want to buy my music? So I blocked him. Anyway, he found me on my other Instagram. And I'm always, again, surprised if you know you're blocked. Maybe people don't know they're blocked. And then you make a new account just to get back on there. I guess that's good, right? And he was just like, the little beat drumming thing I did on the iPad. He's just like, wow, that's so cool. And he like tagged his friend, and his friend came over and he's like, oh man, what is that app? And I'm like, is this one? So that's cool. He's like, that's, you know, and eventually I might come around and be like, hey, what's going on? But then there's like yesterday, he's like, you want to check out my beat? Tell me what you think. I really want you. And now I'm like, why? Because I'm more organic, right? I try to be organic. So I exist. Here's my platforms. There's never a hard, you got to buy it. You must buy it. If you love me. No, it's there. I know in the past I haven't put links. That's why I put links now. Because you might not know where it is. Or you don't sit around saving, rhyming links. So I put a link there. That's about it. Boom, boom. But going out of my way to, like, my therapist, she's like, I don't know what your music sounds like. So I don't know if I'm going to do it, but I'm probably going to play Lucy. I'm not going to play the the therapy song. Although I feel like people who don't listen to rap, like in the song I posted that's right before this one, a friend of mine, he was like, he pulled out a lyric. It goes, boys turn to men by the end of the road. And I've been doing this forever. But boys turn to men by the end of the road. So boys to men, ABC, BBD, whatever. BVD. So boys turn to men by the end of the road. Like the layers of, which it's a statement. Like usually we grow up as we get older. And by the time you're on your deathbed, you're much wiser. Or Boys to Men, the group, sing the song, by the end of the road. Or if you even go deeper, that song End of the Road was made because their manager died. And the song is talking about how they don't teach us about Africa or where we come from until we're dead. Then it's like, or till the people die. So it's just like all packed in there, but it's just one little line. And he pulled it out. No one ever pulls out the stuff from my stuff. Like they hear it. You know, people hear my music, they say it's nice and blah, 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 but they don't, I feel like they don't really get what I'm saying. And then another person pulled out this lyric. He said, well, I say, but he quoted, it said, hop on a plane. My ancestors were probably slaves. Their ancestors were probably brave. Their ancestors were probably kings, and they told me to write this shit down on the page. Truth, that, like that's, I don't even know where that came from because I never wrote shit like that before. And then the whole sample has this little flute and this little, I mean the chorus, God come from Africa, And it's just like, that's I kind of got far from what I was saying, but I'll just make a kind of happer leap. So the guy who's asking me to check his music, I mean, he makes like pop music. I don't know how you say it, but like lo-fi sounding music or whatever. That wasn't my point I was making. I lost it. When I start talking about my music and lyrics, and my food is officially cold, man. I might save it and eat it for lunch. That could work. I might do that. Have breakfast for lunch. That's the plan. But now this is the time I would be leaving the house. Ah, man. It's cold, but it's not cold. Like, there's no snow, a little bit of rain. But yeah, man. But yeah, anyway, that's my story. I don't think I had a point. Did I have a point? Do I ever have a point? I mean, yesterday I had a point. Or not yesterday. Well, yesterday I had a point. And when I was standing out there, I guess I always have a point. I bought a mic. I don't know if I told you, but I got a mic. It just came yesterday. Pretty excited. New mic. It's a condenser mic. Sennheiser. Now, what I'm excited about is every time I go into the store, they always had it on display. So I walk up to it, put on the headphones, and be like, hey. And it always sounded like extra crisp. I think my early recordings, Welcome to Japan Welcome to Japan was recorded with a Bluebird. I just liked the way it looked. And then I had the coveted, I don't even know what it's called, but the $5,000 mic. I found out we could rent it, so I rented it, but I couldn't get my freaking interface to work. So I had to go back to the studio again, and then I got it to work. But we're kind of crunched for time. But yeah, all these recordings are done on a iRig. So hopefully there's going to be just a little bump in quality. Well, that's one dimension is quality. It's going to say a little bump. And then maybe just energy. Like, it's like the mic. So I might get up in there and just be all like, because you got to stand up for that one. I don't even be standing up when I be rapping now. I just be sitting at my chair, just hop on the plane, my ass. But now I might stand up and, I did stand up for, what was the last album I made? Shit, I can't remember. What was it called? Moonrock, yeah. So for Moonrock, I was standing up. But a lot of times for like a freestyle, because usually the freestyles, unless I'm outside, but if I'm at making my beats, I just kind of, oh shit, this is a hot beat, and I just sitting down. And then because I'm in that house and my dad's room is next, I can't really be all loud or whatever. So I'm just kind of, but yeah. But yeah, so that's cool. But I didn't buy a freaking cable. I thought I had a cable, but it was a XLR to a 1/4 inch. But you need 2 XLR thingies. So last night, because Amazon told me the box came and they just throw shit on the porch. And I live where people might steal shit off. I mean, I always feel like, oh shit, there's a box there. I could just take the box. Who knows what's in that box? It could be like $1 million, but. So then I don't know if my dad is gonna come out, because they dropped it off at 10 o'clock. Sometimes he don't go outside till like 12. And it had the freaking, it was a Sennheiser, so that was displayed prominently on the box. But yeah. So I get home and then I'm doing all these errands, as I said in the beginning of the video. And then around 7:30, I'm like, I open it up, like, oh. And then I'm like looking for this cord to try it out. I don't have one. I'm like looking on Amazon, and Amazon like, we'll send it on Thursday if you order right now. I was like, I don't want it on Thursday, I want it now. I got a Best Buy in my area, and I check on Best Buy. They got it, but Amazon is cheaper, but I want it now. Best Buy is like 20 minutes away from my house. 30 minutes, really. It's 5 minutes from my job, so I'm like, I'll just get it tomorrow when I come home from work. But I want it now, and I'm checking Walmart, which is like 15 minutes. Wishing there was a Radio Shack, because Radio Shack would have had it, but Radio Shack is in a better place. So I decided I'll just work on some beats. So I added 2 more Christmas songs to my my thing. Oh my gosh, I don't know why it took so long, because basically this is what I'm doing. I'm taking a Christmas song, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and I'm looking for a spot. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer had a very, it could be, I'm actually looking at the chords behind it, and then boom, boom, slow it down, boom, boom, add a little reverb, brown, add the drum. So I always done, that's nothing new, that's what I've been doing. What I did on this new project, which is, I don't know, new. So then I know the key of that pew. So I go into my samples. You know, I was saying on Black Friday I bought a bunch of samples, but I've been buying a bunch of samples for a long time. So I got a whole lot of samples, and I find a feel for it, the sample in the same key, and I chop that up. So under the, then I pull in the sample, which could be anything. I try to match the thing, but it's like, it's a little busy, so I got to go back and kind of mix frequencies. But it'd be like that's the sample. Now I just put that under. It's crazy. I never did that. It's just like, it's a thicker thing, and then in the background, if there's vocals, like Rudolph the, well, actually I don't use Rudolph, but it'll be like, then it's crazy, man. And it's just like all the pieces. I made beats sampling just straight Christmas songs. I do that every year, and I've been chopping up samples since forever, but more specifically, one, because I do the every Friday flip, so I'm chopping that up, but that's what I do. And then since I've been categorizing all these samples, like, it's just all coming together. So I don't know if it'll just be a beat tape or I'll rap on some. I'm not sure yet, but we're at 10, I think. So I'm really excited, man. Really excited. So look out for that. I think I'm gonna drop it. So since I used because the original idea was I'm not gonna sample like famous songs, because they're gonna be all stupid about it, but it's chopped up. They're not even gonna hear it. I might even try to put up on iTunes. Yeah. I mean, this is inspired because someone's like, some other guy filed, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna sample all these famous songs and it's gonna be up on Spotify. So he doesn't care. But I always like that the Charlie Brown one's always sampled ad nauseum. Christmas time is here. Like, it has the lo-fi vibe built into it. I might even sample it, because I'm all like, I don't want to sample it because everybody samples, but why not? Why hold yourself back? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But let me get to work now. Now is the time I should be leaving, and I'm still early though. So early. I guess I was just so excited for life. He said, shut up, man. No, I'm just excited to start my day, and just because the The minute you get out of bed, the world is your oyster. I don't talk like that, but I feel that way. I don't go around telling people this. In fact, the rest of the day, no one's going to see such excited and animated Matt. They're just going to get, I don't know why that is. I just feel it would be out of character to come in somewhere. Now, the only time that's different is at the lunch when I'm running around trying to, it is so weird. So there's 3 other teachers, or there's 4 teachers in my thing that do my job. We're hired to do this. And we're told we must do the lunch duties. And the last period, there's 2 other teachers and me. I just do the whole thing because I'm, whatever. But for the past week, they haven't been there. It's just been me with 3 classes. 1st grade, 2nd grader, and 3rd graders. Yesterday, 1st grader, he's like hand in the air, doing what he's supposed to. Come over. Blood on the table. He said, I lost my tooth. Now I'm like, are you okay? Any pain? He's like, no, I'm okay. And he shows me, he says, I just need to clean up the blood. There's a lot of blood. So I go get some napkins and and I take his tooth and I wrap in a little thing and I said, I'll hold on to it until your teacher comes out. 3rd graders, they don't know how to raise their hand. They run over, Mr. Bailey, Lisa's crying. I don't know what to do with these. So I go over there, Lisa's crying, big tears. I was like, what's wrong? He said I'm a duty head. Now, I didn't see him do it, but I know he's the kid who would do it because he just, what? I didn't do anything. And he like one time, his whole table left his table. They left him there. They didn't want to sit with him because he's annoying. Another time, he's like, they don't want to be my friend. It's just like, but this day I was kind of annoyed. I'm just like, listen, do you see me smiling? Do you see a smile on his face? Like, no. Then the 2nd graders, I go over to the 2nd graders. I gotta go to the bathroom. It's like, can you hold it? Because we're not allowed to let them go. It's not that we're not allowed, but our school is in a church, and underneath the mass, the church cathedral thing, is the cafeteria. So that means some strange people will be in that side of the building. I mean, it's all church related, but still. So we don't want the children to be out there with strange people. So they can't leave the cafeteria. I was told. So the kids, I gotta go to the bathroom. And twice, a kid had a little accident. And I feel bad because if they're old enough, I'm like, all right, you 2 go out there, you hold the door and you do your thing. But if they're little, someone has to go with them. And if it's a little girl, I'm not going. And the other 2 teachers that are supposed to be there with me are not there. And I'm just running back and forth. And I'm just like, because the kids are cute and annoying and everything. And then the lunch ladies be like, you always look so happy. I guess I am happy. But they're the only ones that see that. They're the only ones that see it. Everyone else, they see another side. I guess you guys see another side too. But anyway, it's getting cold in this car, and it's time for me to travel off the road. So, peace.